Duskmoor was a town of secrets, its streets winding like whispered tales through a haze of eternal fog. The houses leaned together with creaking timbers huddling against the encroaching woods. The air carried an unspoken warning, and townsfolk knew better than to linger outdoors after dusk. In one such house, nestled at the edge of Wormwood Lane, Arabella Holloway grew up. She was under the care of Barnaby and Celia Holloway, her kind, steadfast, and slightly eccentric parents. Barnaby, a taxidermist with an eye for detail, spent his days crafting lifelike displays. Celia, with her steady hands, knitted warmth into every stitch of her sweaters. The Holloways never spoke of how Arabella had come to them. Arabella, in her innocence, believed the story she had been told. They had chosen her from an orphanage. It was a simple tale, one that explained her place in the world without complicating it. Her childhood in the Holloway household was full of love, curiosity, and freedom. Unbeknownst to Arabella, her arrival had been far more peculiar. On a foggy night 13 years earlier, a basket had appeared on their doorstep. Though the basket bore no note, Celia felt an unshakable sense that the child was meant to be theirs. They brought her inside, vowing to protect and love her as their own. Arabella grew up with boundless curiosity and a knack for noticing what others overlooked. She'd wander through the winding streets of Duskmoor, finding treasures in forgotten corners. The woods at the edge of town, though forbidden, fascinated her most of all. Her questions often puzzled the Holloways, evoking worry in Celia's eyes or a furrow in Barnaby's brow. When Arabella asked why she felt drawn to the woods or dreamed of glowing lanterns, Barnaby would chuckle. Despite their reassurances, Arabella couldn't shake the feeling that she was different. She preferred her solitary adventures with Grim, the family's black cat. Life in Duskmoor moved on, shrouded in its usual fog and mystery. But as Arabella grew older, so did the questions she couldn't answer. Why did she feel a strange hum in her chest when she stood at the edge of the woods? Why did the lanterns in town flicker just a little brighter when she walked past? And why, no matter how much love she felt, did she sometimes feel a part of her was missing? Arabella didn't know that the answers to these questions would append everything she believed. Nor did she realize that the quiet town of Duskmoor was more than it seemed. It held the key to a legacy she had been born into but never asked for. For in Duskmoor, the past doesn't stay buried, and the truth has a way of finding its way home. The town of Duskmoor always felt like it was holding its breath. Crooked houses leaned toward each other, sharing secrets. It wasn't the fog or gloom that bothered Arabella most. It was the feeling everyone was hiding something, especially from her. Arabella sat at her windowsill, staring out at the swirling mist. Her reflection was faint in the glass. Her dark, curly hair, pale skin, and large blue eyes seemed too curious for the quiet life her parents wanted.
Arabella, love, it's getting late.
Her mother called from downstairs, her voice muffled by the heavy old walls.
Time to close the curtains.
Arabella sighed and glanced at the clock. It was only 5:30, but that was Duskmoor for you. The sun had dipped below the horizon. In this town, that meant one thing: lock your doors, close your curtains, and stay away from the night.
I'm coming.
Arabella called back, though she made no move to draw the curtains. Instead, she leaned closer to the window, her breath fogging up the glass. Out there, the town felt alive. There was something different about the darkness here. It whispered to her.
Arabella.
Came her mother's voice again, sharper this time. Arabella sighed and slid off the windowsill, pulling the curtains shut with a huff. Downstairs, her father was sitting in his favorite armchair, polishing a fox he'd recently finished taxidermizing. His fingers were steady, eyes focused, but he smiled when she entered.
Good evening, Pumpkin. Did you finish your book?
Arabella hesitated.
Almost. I was just thinking, do you ever wonder what's out there at night?
Her father's hands paused for a fraction of a second, then resumed polishing.
You know what we've told you, Bella. The night is no place for wandering thoughts. Best to focus on what's here, in the house, safe and sound.
Yeah, but
Arabella shifted on her feet.
don't you ever get curious? Why does everyone act so weird? About the dark? It's just nighttime.
Her mother bustled in from the kitchen, carrying a tray of tea. Her eyes flicked to Arabella with a worried crease.
It's not for you to worry about, dear. Some things are better left alone.
Arabella crossed her arms.
But what if I don't want to leave it alone?
Her mother exchanged a glance with her father, a look that made Arabella feel like she was missing something important. Her mother cut her off with a sigh.
Arabella, we've told you time and again. The night holds dangers, creatures. It's not for you to explore. Now sit and have your tea.
But Arabella wasn't hungry, and she certainly wasn't in the mood for tea. She marched back upstairs to her room, her heart thudding in her chest. Why did they always act so strange whenever she asked about the night? What were they so afraid of? As she flopped onto her bed, the soft creak of wood outside caught her attention. Arabella sat up slowly, her ears straining. The sound came again, louder this time, like footsteps. Right under her window, without thinking, she rushed to the curtains and pulled them back just a crack. Her breath hitched. There, at the edge of the fog, stood a figure, tall, cloaked in shadows, with a dim golden glow flickering at its side. A lantern. Arabella's heart raced. She leaned closer, squinting through the mist. The figure didn't move, but the lantern seemed to sway gently, casting strange, shifting shadows across the ground. She felt a pull. Something inside her told her to go. She threw on her shoes and grabbed her coat, her mind racing with curiosity and a nervous thrill. Just as she reached the door, Grim, the family's black and white cat, appeared out of nowhere, blocking her path. With a hiss, his yellow eyes glowed in the dim light, and his tail lashed back and forth.
Move, Grim.
But the cat didn't budge.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
A voice purred. Arabella froze.
Did you just talk?
Grim sat down, tail still twitching.
Indeed I did. Now, step away from the door.
She blinked, staring at the cat.
Wait, how are you talking? Cats don't talk.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Grim said with a flick of his tail.
But that's not important right now. What is important is that you stay inside. You're not ready for what's out there.
Not ready?
Arabella scowled, her hand still on the doorknob.
What do you mean, not ready?
Grim narrowed his eyes.
You have no idea who or what you are, Arabella. The night holds secrets. It's not your time to face them.
Arabella's hand tightened on the knob.
But I felt it, Grim. Something out there. It's calling me. I need to know.
Grimm's eyes softened, but his tone remained firm.
If you go out there tonight, you may discover more than you're prepared for. And once you know, there's no going back.
Arabella swallowed, her heart racing with equal parts fear and excitement.
Then maybe I'm ready to find out.
Grimm sighed, his tail flicking.
Very well, but don't say I didn't warn you.
And with that, Arabella opened the door, stepping into the cool, misty night. The figure with the lantern remained at the edge of the fog, waiting, and Arabella couldn't shake the feeling that whoever or whatever it was held the key to her past and the secrets her parents had kept hidden.
The cold night air hit Arabella's face. Mist swirled around her like ghostly tendrils. The figure holding the lantern remained still. Its golden glow was the only source of light. Her heart pounded as she crept forward, ignoring Grimm's faint hiss from behind. As she approached, the figure became clearer. An old man with sharp, watchful eyes. "You came," the man said. "Who are you, and why have you been watching me?" "My name is not important. What matters is that you are finally ready to see the truth. The truth about who you are, Arabella. About your parents, about the night creatures. You knew my parents. They were the protectors of this town, Nightkeepers. When they disappeared, the creatures of the night became stronger, more restless. You are the last of your kind, Arabella, the only one who can stop them. The lantern once belonged to your parents. It is the key to unlocking your power."
Arabella's eyes flipped to the lantern. It pulsed brighter as if it recognized her. She felt a strange pull as if it were calling to her, begging her to take it before she could speak. A low growl echoed from the fog.
They found us. There's no time. You have to take the lantern, Arabella. It's the only way.
Arabella's chest tightened,
What if I can't?
her voice trembling.
Arabella, trust yourself. Take the lantern.
Her hands trembled as she reached out. The moment she touched it, a surge of energy shot through her, warming her from within. The light flared, pushing back the fog and illuminating the dark street.
What do I do?
The old man's eyes gleamed.
You fight!
One of the creatures lunged, a twisted, shadowy thing. Arabella stumbled back, but the lantern flared again, casting a beam that struck. It screeched, resulting in
I did that?
She gasped in disbelief.
Yes, embrace who you are, Arabella, the last of the Nightkeepers.
Where do I find the answers?
She asked.
The Nightworld, beyond the edge. You'll have to go alone. The lantern will guide you.
Arabella's breath was shallow as she followed the old man through the fog-cloaked streets of Duskmoor. The lantern in her hand flickered, casting long, eerie shadows across the cobblestones. With every step they took toward the edge of town, the mist seemed to grow thicker, swallowing the familiar sights of the crooked houses and twisted lampposts behind them. Her thoughts were spinning, torn between fear of what lay ahead and a flood of questions she couldn't hold back.
I need to know.
She said suddenly, her voice breaking the silence.
You said my parents were night keepers. Why did no one tell me? Why didn't my adoptive parents? Why didn't they ever explain who I really am?
The old man glanced at her from the corner of his eye, his face solemn.
They didn't know. Not the whole truth, at least.
Arabella's steps faltered.
What do you mean? They raised me. They had to know something.
The man stopped, turning to face her. The fog swirled around them, and the dim light of the lantern made his features seem sharper, more haunted.
Your adoptive parents are good people, but they were never meant to be part of this. You were left on their doorstep one cold night when you were just a baby.
Arabella's heart sank. She had always known she was adopted, but her parents had told her that they had chosen her, that they had longed for a child and found her. But the truth was different, a mystery shrouded in shadows.
Who left me there?
She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The old man's gaze softened, and for a moment Arabella thought she saw something like guilt flicker across his face.
Your real parents did. They knew that their lives were too dangerous to raise you. The creatures of the night would have hunted you down if they knew who you were. So they hid you, left you in the care of a family who would love you and protect you without knowing your true nature.
Arabella felt a lump rise in her throat. The pieces of her life were falling into place, but the puzzle was painful to look at.
So my real parents were running from something.
The old man nodded.
The creatures of the Nightworld feared your parents' power. They were the last of the Nightkeepers, and without them, the balance of light and dark began to shift. When they disappeared, the creatures became bolder, more dangerous. But they sacrificed everything to keep you safe.
Arabella clenched her fists, her mind swirling with anger and sadness. They had left her to protect her, but in doing so, they had left her with questions that had haunted her. She had always felt like an outsider, never truly fitting in, never knowing why she was different.
And now I'm supposed to just take over.
She asked, her voice trembling.
I don't even know how to use this power you say I have.
The old man placed a hand on her shoulder, his eyes kind but serious.
The power has always been inside you, Arabella. The lantern is the key to unlocking it, but only you can wield it. The Nightworld is dangerous, but it's also the place where you'll find the truth about your parents and about yourself.
Arabella swallowed hard, the weight of his words pressing down on her. The Nightworld, the very idea of it, sent shivers down her spine. But if that was where the answers lay, if that was where she could finally learn who she was meant to be, then she had no choice. The fog thickened around them, and in the distance, Arabella could see the outline of the twisted forest that marked the boundary of the town. It was a place no one dared to go, not even during the day. The trees loomed tall, their branches gnarled and reaching like skeletal hands toward the sky. As they neared the edge of the forest, Arabella thought back to her adoptive parents. They had always been kind, if a bit strange. Her father with his odd fascination for taxidermy, her mother with her strange moods that changed with the weather. But they loved her. They had done their best to raise her. In a town full of secrets, they had kept her safe, even if they hadn't known the full truth.
I always knew there was something different about me, but I never imagined it would be this.
The old man smiled faintly, his eyes sad but proud.
You were born into a legacy that spans generations. The Nightkeepers have always protected this town, and now that role falls to you. But you won't be alone. There are others who will help you, allies in both the human world and the night.
Arabella tightened her grip on the lantern's handle, her heart pounding.
What do I do once I'm in the night?
The old man's face grew serious again.
The creatures there will test you. They thrive on fear and doubt. But you must stay strong. Your parents left clues, traces of their power hidden in the night world. You'll need to find them if you're to save Duskmore.
Arabella nodded, though fear twisted in her gut. But what choice did she have? If she didn't act, they would destroy everything she loved. As she stood at the edge of the dark forest, Arabella glanced back toward the town. The fog wrapped around the buildings. She had left without saying goodbye, but they wouldn't have understood. They had protected her, but now she had to protect them.
Are you ready?
Arabella took a deep breath, her heart racing. She wasn't sure if she would ever truly feel ready, but something inside her urged her forward.
I'm ready.
With that, she stepped into the darkness of the forest, the lantern's glow her only guide.
Hello, my name is Arabella and this is my cat, Grim. I live in the town of Duskmoor where no one can go out at night. I intend to find out why and have just found out some major truths about my real parents who died. If you want to know more, please join me in my adventure by finding the book on Amazon. It is called Nightworld, Arabella and the Nightkeepers. Okay, gotta go.
In the shadows they creep out of sight, with eyes that glow in the pale moonlight. Whispers in the wind, a chilling song. They haunt the night where the lost belong. Creatures of the dark, they dance and sway. Beneath the stars, they come out to play. Oh, the creatures in the night, they thrive. In a world of darkness, they come alive. While the moon, it glows with a ghostly sheen. In this calypso of fear, they reign supreme. Fangs and claws, they're ready to feast. Silent phantoms, the restless beast. Carnival of shadows, the night unfolds. Tales of terror that are waiting to be told. Hear their laughter ring echoing loud. They feast on fear, a shadowy crowd. Oh, the creatures in the night, they thrive. In a world of darkness, they come alive. While the moon, it glows with a ghostly sheen. In this calypso of fear, they reign supreme. Who hold your breath, sweet dreams to borrow. For the creatures of the night, they'll bring you sorrow. Oh, the moon, it glows with a ghostly sheen. In this calypso of fear, they reign supreme. So hold your breath, sweet dreams to borrow. For the creatures of the night, they'll bring you sorrow. Oh, the creatures in the night, they thrive. In a world of darkness, they come alive. While the moon, it glows with a ghostly sheen. In this calypso of fear, they reign supreme. So hold your breath, sweet dreams to borrow. For the creatures of the night, they'll bring you sorrow. While the moon, it glows with a ghostly sheen. In this calypso of fear, they reign supreme. So hold your breath, sweet dreams to borrow. For the creatures of the night, they'll bring you sorrow.